Welcome to this video on the Scrum model. If you are preparing for interviews or you want to learn how teams deliver software faster and better, this video will give you a clear step-by-step understanding of the Scrum model. Agile is a way of building software and running projects that focuses on flexibility, speed, and continuous improvement. Agile teams break work into small, manageable pieces, deliver them quickly, get feedback, and keep improving. So instead of waiting months to deliver a final product, agile teams release working features every few weeks. The main focus is to adapt to changes quickly and make sure customer is always involved. Now, before we look at the process, let's quickly look at few terms used in Scrum process. This will set the context for us. First, we have product backlog. This is basically a complete list of features which we have to build. Next, we have sprint backlog. Sprint backlog is basically shortlisted items which we are going to take for the current sprint. So then we have sprint, where developers and testers build the software. Sprints are generally for 2 to 3 weeks. Next, we have sprint meeting. These are daily meetings held by the development team to understand any challenges and resolve them. Next, we have product owner. They are responsible for the product backlog. During sprint planning, they explain the highest priority items and their value to the teams. Scrum Master. They act as a facilitator of the sprint meeting, ensuring the meeting stays on the track and the team understands the goal and the purpose of the sprint. They also help remove any impediments, challenges, roadblocks. Next, we have development team. This is a group of people who do the work to deliver the product. So actually, they will build and test software. Now let's walk through how Scrum works in real life. Consider a square block built with a lot of small blocks. The larger block is considered to be as a software and the smaller blocks are basically features of that software. So in Scrum model, the step 1 is product backlog creation. The product owner will take all the features and put it into a list. This list is called as product backlog. The product owner will discuss with the client and understand the priority of the features. The list will be realigned as per the client priority. This list will include features, enhancements, and bug fixes. Each item is written as a user story. For example, as a user, I want to transfer money instantly. Okay, the next step is sprint planning. Before the development begins, team meets for sprint planning. Team will discuss on the high priority features in the product backlog, break it down into tasks and add it to the sprint backlog. So in short, a sprint backlog is a list of items to be taken for development in the current sprint. Also, team will discuss the architecture and how they will complete the work. So in all, we can say team will finalize the tasks to be completed in the current sprint cycle. Next step is sprint execution. Sprints are generally 2 to 3 weeks development cycle. Teams work together during the sprint, building and testing the selected task. There is a daily Scrum meeting which happens. Team meets for 15 minutes to discuss the progress, blockers, and the next step. At the end of the sprint, once the feature is built, the team demonstrates the completed work to the stakeholders, gets feedback, and updates the product backlog as required. Next, we have a sprint retrospective meeting. In this meeting, team reflects on the sprint, what went well and what can be improved. They agree on actions to be taken to improve the next sprint. Next, repeat the above process. The cycle repeats. Plan the next sprint, build, review, and improve. The product evolves, getting better and more valuable with each sprint. Okay, now let's look at a case study and understand how Scrum model works in real life. Let's take an example of bus ticket booking application to be built using Scrum model. The product owner talks to the client to understand and get the list of features. This list is called as product backlog. Let's say the list contains the below features. Customers can register on the application. Customer can log in using mobile and OTP or email ID and password. Customer will select the required source and destination. Customer will select seat of choice. Customer can make payment via credit card, debit card, net banking, or wallet. Customer can download the ticket from the mobile application. Next, Customer can view the ticket booking history for last 12 months. Now we have understood the product feature list. The product owner will prioritize all the features as per the client needs. So he will discuss with the client on feature by feature and understand what is the value for each feature and what is the priority around it. Before we start any development, a sprint planning meeting will be conducted. During this meeting, team adds below task in the sprint backlog. Let's call this a sprint 1. So these 3 items, or you can say these 3 tasks, are added to the sprint backlog. Now the development will be conducted in the current sprint. On daily basis, there will be a Scrum meeting to understand the progress and if there are any challenges. Post development, the application will be tested. Once ready, there will be a sprint review meeting. We will demonstrate the built application to client and gather all the feedback. All the issues and feedback will be added to the product backlog. At this stage, we have a potentially shippable product increment, or in short, we only call it as increment. Then team will do the sprint planning meeting for the next sprint, that is sprint 2. This time, team will take up below task in the sprint 2. Customer will select required source and destination for the travel. Customer will select seat of choice. Customer can make payment via credit card. Now team will build, test the software and accordingly demo to the client. And the sprint cycle continues. In each sprint, we will get an incremental shippable product. This will be integrated with the release of the previous sprint, and finally the end product will be delivered in part or full as per client requirements. So here we can see how Scrum works using a case study. Now let's understand why we actually use Scrum model instead of Waterfall or any other model. Before Agile, most companies use the Waterfall model. Waterfall is a step-by-step approach. First, you gather all the requirements, design everything, then build the product, test the product, and deliver everything in one go. It is a sequential process and changes are not accepted during the life cycle of the process. Now let's understand the problems with Waterfall. It takes a long time before you see any results. If requirements change late, it's very expensive and difficult. Customer feedbacks comes only at the end, so mistakes are found late in the project. To solve above issues, we use Scrum model. In Scrum, we break work into short sprints, usually 2 to 4 weeks. We deliver small working features every sprint and involve the customer throughout the process, so changes can be made early and easily. Overall, this means less risk, faster feedback, and more satisfied users. Yeah, so moving forward, here we have a list of interview questions for your reference. You may pause and take a screenshot for the video. We have covered all the questions in the discussions we had. To sum up, Scrum is a practical, powerful way to deliver software quickly through teamwork, transparency, and regular improvements. Thank you for watching and see you in the next video.